Good morning. Monday the 13th of November, start of a new week, and it has been a busy weekend all round. Lots of orders, which I'll take you through in a little moment quickly. Lots of parting out as well over the weekend. Water bottles in the way yet again. So we are starting the week on 198,440 and 9124 lots. It's good going. Definitely going to hit the 1,000, the 200,000 even over the next couple of days, I would say, unless someone comes in and buys heaps, which would be lovely. Yeah, so there's been a whole bunch of orders, which I'll get to, as I've already just said. The new vlog went out as always on Sunday evening. 515 subscribers we're starting the week with, and the new blog has already had 201 views, which is pretty damn good going. I definitely think the ones with a bit of a graphic on the thumbnail, that's what you call it, attract attention quite a bit, because it was the same when I did the one with Pain Pal. That one got a lot of views very quickly because it had kind of an emoji on it. Interesting whether that's the case or not. Brick Freedom has ticked over to add the new week into its display already, which is usually a little bit later, but don't know, maybe it's changing up a little bit. So the week finished really well. 40 sales, an average of 5.7. Given that we were down for a good half of the week, that's not too far off the 6 sales per day. So got to be happy with that, and everything else kind of went well. And you know, when you consider that Bricklink was out of action for more than half of the week, and Brickowl was the only thing leading the way excuse me, leading the way early on, it certainly came good. Stormed in there. 154 used parts, which isn't too bad. Not adding it. I'm not planning on adding any more used beyond those windshields and things this week, just because it takes such a long time, given that there isn't the same storage system for the used parts. So it's going to be a drip feed of those used parts, I think. And as I go through, continue sorting, which I hope to do some more this week, I'm just going to sort the parts that I know that sell quickly. I think that's the good way to kind of attack that. Do the categories, break them down into the colours, and then list the ones that I know sell more easily. Black streaked ahead from all of that, 634, with dark bluish grey 382, so kind of almost half the way behind it, which is a fairly intense kind of graphic, isn't it? But a decent week. The month, so a little update on the month, given that we're roughly about halfway in the month. We are a little bit down on last month, but maybe that's just to do with the outage. Sales per day is a couple of sales per day down. All of those indicators are down. It's kind of depressing, that stat, but I think it's because it kind of measures this month versus previous months. And given that we're only 1, 2, 3, 4, this is only the 5th month of being in business, everything's going all right. We've definitely done a lot of minifigures this month. 60 is quite a lot. I can't remember off my top of my head what other months have been. And in the month's totals, dark blue grey is winning that one, which is yeah. And the inventory status keeps going like that. As you can see, it was a big upload over the kind of the last few days, but the lots didn't really increase massively. And I do know that there's an announcement on Brickowl that they're asking the users to add in entries for weights and sizes of parts that aren't indexed there. So that might increase that compatibility between the two platforms in terms of the things that you get to see. Okay, orders, of which there are 15 out at the moment, and I've got another 4 to pick, so that's a weekend of 19. It was actually 20, but one of the orders was the same person ordering twice, so they've been combined. So I need to clear some space because I've run out of space. So I'm going to go through this bunch of orders first, and I might show you the sheets for the other ones. They don't have any names or addresses on them. So yeah, the usual kind of assortment really. So odds and sods parts, a turkey leg. What I have noticed that Brickowl hadn't kind of synced inventory, so there was a lot of parts missing. So as you were going into Brick Freedom, you were seeing the turkey drumsticks, for instance, that I didn't have any left, but there's like quite a few in the drawer. So that's all been synced now. There was a bit of a run on these little tan Technic ball joints. I had 4 in stock, and all 4 have gone in the same weekend, which makes me think there may be a mock out or something like that that has them, because that and red chairs have also been quite popular. But anyway, a couple of classic minifigs. We've got the I'm going to guess that somebody's doing like the final duel or something like that, because we've got that, or maybe one of those shuttles actually, because that little Imperial shuttle pilot, yeah, there we go, Imperial shuttle pilot giveaway, and an old school stormtrooper for that. Someone going Bo-Katan Mandalorian with a couple of flat silver guns and a helmet and a jetpack. This one, a windshield and some just kind of spaceship things. Again, those dark trans blue projectiles, very popular. As rare as hen's teeth, red plate tile even. I only had one of those in the used section, so I tried to see if there was any more online, but they are rare. It's a bit of minifigure parts, some cones and some fence lattice stuff. Again, another thing that I don't have a lot of, but I've added it to the inventory restock for sure. The first of 2 that aren't just domestic letter, some standard kind of very Star Wars spaceshipy parts. Another Brickowl with some fences or gates, which I think came out of one of the Harry Potter sets or Lord of the Rings. Is it used or is it new? Can't remember. Maybe it was a Harry Potter set, that one. Again, your bog standard kind of parts. I think this is the one that was 2 orders, maybe not. Maybe that was a minifigure one over there. Can't remember now. Anyway, yeah, bog standard parts. And then over here, just move my chair out of the way, we've got some used parts and some minifigure action going on, some heads and some hair and a car chassis and wheels. Somebody obviously going into the vehicle kind of stuff. A big order heading, is that one going to America? One of these is going to America. Can't remember which one that is either. Did it at the weekend, you see. Kind of forgotten. Which is a good job, because today's going to be busy. But a big bag of black stuff, and then, as I said, these red seats. I'm sure they were in more than one order. But, yeah, maybe this is the one that was 2 orders that went together. Can't remember. A Luke and Yoda, so someone going very Dagobah on that one, with some lightsabers. Some classic knights stuff, and another chair, and the other tan ball joint that I had. That's good to see those going. Someone buying a whole bunch of what, I can't remember, are they 212 or something like that? I don't know. 5 of them, a whole bunch of lightsabers. Definitely one of those parts that's a good staple in the store. And some black bits. And then this one was a whole raft of different Star Wars figures. Another Yoda, a C-3PO, some more troopers, and a couple of Mandalorians in there. Who else is in there? I think there's somebody else. And a Mace Windu. So a whole bunch of minifigures in that one. So yeah, so there's all of those that are already picked and packed. And then there's 4 more orders. 117 items in that one, 237 in that one, 47 in that one, and 45 in that one. Still to pick. So it's going to be a busy morning getting that done. I have to go to the UPS depot to pick up a parcel, which I have to say, the UPS lady that rang me this morning and emailed me over the weekend was incredibly friendly and very helpful, which seems a bit of a shock, doesn't it? But it's true. a delivery company that's friendly. Maybe Lego should consider not using Toll anymore, or Team Global Express as they've rebranded, to try and get rid of their shit reputation. Things have filled up over here. I am going to need some more tubs. I wasn't actually planning on using the shelves for tubs, but it is where we're at, because as I'll show you in a minute, we are rapidly running out of overflow space. So I'm going to have to use this as overflow, and I've started an overflow tub up there of new windshields and stuff like that, which I'm going to have to use, and these two litres are going to get used up with these that are now full of a drawer. Yes, I could break them down into smaller drawers, but I think I'm going to go with tubs and go to IKEA and get some more of the 2 litre. Get my finger in the shop. The 2 litre ones and the 5 litre ones, because they are bloody useful. And over here, things are starting to fill up. We've already done a column through there, stocked up on spaceman paraphernalia and some tiles, more tiles, plates. Yeah, so things are getting busy, which is good. And if I look under my sorting table, this is all the stuff that doesn't fit in drawers, which I have an oversupply of, partly because I wasn't using my wants lists properly. As you can see, there's a fair old stack of stuff that I'm going to have to put away somewhere. So yeah, there's that to do, there's these to pack, there's the UPS parcel to collect, there's tubs to get from IKEA, and I've still got one order to put away. And again, it's some more windshields of different types. These are all the parts that are ending this year. So all of these windshields are ones that will no longer be in production as of the end of the year. And I've got a whole lot of round plates, some dishes and some tiles, some more of those that people use for the for the mills plates, and some flowers, because I didn't really have an awful lot of that. And there's a little bag of assorted things in here, medium azure things, some reddish brown modified slopes, and some more jetpacks. What are those? Some dark red circular or quarter circle bits, and then in here, yeah, so all of that still needs to be put away. And then I've put away all those orders that came in last week, which is why we've got such a large total in the store. So yeah, that's where we're at. Busy as always, isn't it, for a Monday? Mondays are always a panic. Even though I've picked 15 orders over the weekend, it still feels a bit stressy, and it's only 9 o'clock in the morning. So yeah, things are going well. Let's see what the week brings, and I'll keep you updated as we go along. So picked those orders, and 2 more came in whilst I was at it. This one on Brickowl, which is a Lieutenant Beta minifig from the recent Ahsoka series. Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? I can't remember which is the other one that came in while we were going, but the biggest one is that one that was 237 parts, a lot of plates, a lot of used plates in there, and then a whole load more dark blue-grey plates and a bunch of other bits and pieces. This one is just a nice little assortment. That one's got another one of those chairs in it. In there, they are popular these last couple of days, but for some reason. Over here, a couple of minifigs and just a collection of parts. And this one has a TIE Fighter pilot, and then some other parts. One domestic express. This one obviously too big, so it's going in a bigger box, not the mini box like that one. So yeah, what was that? 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 orders in really. Over the weekend stroke Monday morning, which is fantastic. A good start to the week. Total chaos over here. Yeah, doesn't play well with my OCD, and my bin is overflowing, and there's just rubbish everywhere. I found this bundle of stuff that needs putting in the store, as well as another box that was hiding in the box room. You know you've got an issue when you forgot about orders that have arrived for you to put in the store, and it's a pretty big one. So I imagine we're going to get over the 200,000 parts today. And as I'm talking, oh no, it's one of my orders that's being shipped. A little notification came up on my phone. So what is it now? It's nearly 11 o'clock. So that's a couple of hours of doing part outs and stuff like that. Not part out, picking and packing already this morning. So I need to do a couple of things work-wise, and then I need to head to UPS. There's another parcel at the post office to pick up, but I can do that when I take this lot and all of that lot that's over there. So I'll speak to you in a bit. Tuesday mid-morning. Been busy kind of finishing off inventory and picking orders, of which there are 2/3. But I thought I'd start with YouTube for a change. Crept up to 518, but this week's vlog is up to 501. That one's gone off. I'm sure it's about having little graphics on the actual things. I don't know. Maybe it's just a more interesting subject for everybody else. As I said, I've been adding inventory all the while, and we are now sitting at 206,000, although the lot count hasn't increased significantly in that time, but the part count has. A lot of volume gone in. A lot of parts that I've ordered, way too many of actually, which kind of kicks me into life of using the want lists properly. So this is the ones that we've been adding to November, and it is sitting at 62% of those that we have actually managed to get back. So I just add parts in, add my pricing that I'm willing to pay, and away you go. So there's quite a few of that. There's 10 pages full of them. You're not going to get them all because not all of them are available in Australia, but in case anyone was interested, that's how I am running that now, so that I don't end up with 400 3x whatevers. So 2 orders in, both of them going with tracking, which is a rarity these days. First one is a new customer, clearly some kind of Speed Champions thing going on. Lots of trans tiles and plates for lighting, some wheel arches and some slopes and bits and pieces, and a windshield. And then the second order is quantity of a number of parts, a repeat buyer, third purchase. So thanks very much, Liam. So yeah, those 2 easy. 1 order in as well, pending, clearing me out of those white rails that I only got in yesterday, which is good. Continued reallocation yesterday, so as you can see the shelves are now starting to get populated with some of the 2 litre and 5 litre tubs. It is looking a little bit cleaner over here. Still got to sort out all that under there, and all of that used is still to get sorted out. But I have got 2 new 5 litre buckets that need labelling up to go on the shelf for those parts. And I'm going to have I got some extra ones of these from IKEA, so I'm going to have a little scoot around and see. There's a stray brick. They get everywhere, don't they? Little scoot around and see what drawers could do with putting up into a 2 litre container. So yeah, we're getting there in terms of tidying up. The cabinets over here still got a fair bit of room in there and in the big drawers there. And having moved those 1x3 plates and those slopes, it does free up several, well, almost an entire tray drawer, which is good. So yeah, that's where I'm at. Kind of not expecting any big orders for the rest of the week, I would think, in terms of incoming parts. So really just a chance to focus on getting some of this used clear. I have got a few things that I need to part out in terms of new sets, which I need to tackle at some point, but it'll depend how the week goes from here, I think. Fair bit of uploading already done, so not too worried about hitting any targets for this week. We're way ahead of where we were going to be ever this year. So that's it for this morning. Get these orders packed and get them to the post office a little bit later and see if anything else arrives in the next hour and a bit before my kind of noon cut-off for the same day. So I'll just crack on. Tuesday afternoon, and in the background, beavering away, kind of getting things ready for the day that we reach 1,000 subscribers and we can try and monetize the page. Although I'm not particularly keen on having adverts and all of that on it, because it's a bit of a, well, it gets in the way, doesn't it, of what you all came here to do. Anyway, one of the things that they throw at you along the way is this ability to add membership. Now, I have no idea if this is something people actually do on YouTube or whether it's just one of these things that YouTube promote to try and get you to engage more with the platform. Either way, I'm going to give it a go. So there's like a membership package. There's only one level because, you know, I don't really have bespoke content or stuff like that kind of is as a peak, and I don't really think people will be like chomping at the bit to get the video vlogs a day earlier than they come out and stuff like that. But I did think kind of like a membership discount on the store would be a good way to do it. So I've done this end of it, and if anyone ever signs up for membership, I'll figure out how to create the discount code on Bricklink, and then anyone that's buying anything that is a member of the channel gets a discount on the store, which I've set at 5% because that seemed to be like at least worthwhile for everyone. So yeah, that's kind of put in place. Obviously it doesn't say anything yet. There's a little thing where you get a little badge. Can I see it anywhere? No. A little badge to say you're a new member, and then a different badge. It's actually a different coloured logo for the channel when you kind of get after a month or 2 months. I can't remember what I set it for now. Anyway, I quite like that. It was like Bricklink, where you get those different coloured bricks the longer you are a member and the more feedback you've got. So but we're doing quite well. Kind of we're three-quarters of the way there on the watching hours, and obviously past halfway on the subscribers, which is cool. And as anyone that has followed for a little while knows, when we get to 1,000, we're going to do a giveaway, or I'm going to do a giveaway of the original clone turbo tank, the vintage one, whose set number I forget now, but it doesn't come with any minifigures. But it's what the Mace Windu with the light up lightsaber came from originally. So yeah, that set's complete and all bagged up. I'll probably get it out and waft it around on some vlogs nearer the time. But yeah, that's in place. So if anyone is watching and they fancy a discount, go for it. I don't know how you do it. I don't know where it says, oh, membership. There you go. Look at that. You go in there. This is what the tab looks like to your members. Yeah, so a new member gets the black and white badge. Dum, dum, dum. And then after a month, you get upgraded to a yellow one. And then I might add some more for like 6 months and a year, like a gold, silver and bronze, silver and gold type situation. And a little poll, which I thought, hey, why not? About why people are here. Either they're here for the chat, the hints and tips, just because they're nosy, or they've got OCD too, or something else. But yeah, let me know what you think. Just giving it a whirl, really. Kind of no expectations as ever. Just to see what happens, really. Yeah, so there we go. I'm about to do another little tip video on how to use Brick Store and kind of filter through your inventory and stuff like that. It's something I've been looking at to try and find parts quicker than actually going through Bricklink and having to go through all of the menus. So yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to record that because I think that might be another little useful one. And that last little one went okay. You know, 90 views, pretty decent. I'm happy with that. I had a message from viewer Joe, who you may remember sent me an email a while back about a whole bunch of things, which was really cool. One of them being getting an idea of how much time kind of running the store entails. So I started that at the beginning of the month, so we're into the kind of the second week of that. Obviously that first week isn't much use because it wasn't a full week, but that middle week is probably the one that's most interesting. Now I haven't done any parting out of new sets in the last week and a bit. It's all been kind of inventory or working through that used stuff that we were doing, which took a big chunk of time for the number of parts, I'll be honest. And as you've seen from the vlog so far, we've been going hard in terms of, last week we did about 10,000 parts. This week, probably done maybe another 5, 6, 7,000 parts so far, and we're only into Tuesday. But the difference in the time it takes to add inventory stock versus parting out and all that goes with that is phenomenal. So obviously this week in the middle is probably the only one we can talk about at the moment, because it's the one that's kind of the most interesting. So picking and packing, it's quite a bit of context with that. Depends on the orders. Like little orders with good quantities go really quick. Big orders with lots of individual parts take a long time, as everyone that's done this knows. So there's no real rule of thumb. I've seen on some forums people kind of commenting that they can figure it out by poundage of sorting and stuff like that. But yeah, it's a bit hit and miss, but generally it takes a little while. Sunday I did a big batch, those 13, 14 orders. Some of them weren't big, some of them were fairly sizable, and that was about 2.5 hours all up, getting that all done and getting it all packed up and ready. And then kind of today was only 2 orders, but doing that and the packaging of them did take me an hour. I don't know why, kind of maybe just took me a bit longer than normal. And then Monday, kind of those separate orders that came in was another couple of hours. So as you can see, there's kind of no rhyme or reason to the amount of time that takes. I've kind of been doing a little bit of customer service here and there. I haven't had to reply to any messages or anything this week so far, but generally there's a little smidge of that every day. And obviously there's a little bit of vlog time every day, even though some days I haven't got that listed, which is just because I forgot to do it really. Sourcing parts clearly takes quite a while, but I try and do it kind of in batches when I get a full sheet of stuff. So Thursday I did it again on Sunday. That included looking online at different pricing on the Lego site as well, to make sure I wasn't overpaying too much for parts. And then parting out the inventory. Friday was a big day for that. 5 hours of the day spent doing that. 4 hours the day before. I've probably done maybe another couple hours again today, kind of a bit less than that, maybe an hour today, getting parts in there. As you can see, I'm not running a stopwatch on my time recording. And then so last week's kind of sorting used parts is that last line on the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday. I've obviously got some more to do that's still lying around, but as you can see, kind of getting 10,000 parts can take you 6 hours, 12 hours, 14 hours, whatever that is. What's that? That's 18 hours to get about 10,000 parts, as opposed to a couple of less than half for doing inventory stock. So yeah, it's an interesting balance. Obviously new parts give you more accidental variety in your store, which is important. I've said it before, I think it's a real balance. But definitely in terms of growing the store at this phase that I'm in, inventory stock seems to be a winner in terms of getting variety and volume. But as we get into the back part of this week and definitely into next week, I'm going to return to the parting out of the newer sets, just to kind of keep that sprinkled with a good variety. Alright, so I'll leave it there. If you like this kind of thing, do let me know down below. If you think this is useful for the vlog, I know Joe was interested, it's been interesting for me as well. If you like this kind of thing, I'll keep it running beyond November. If not, I'll knock it on the head if no one's really kind of interested or got questions about it. But good morning, Wednesday. Mid-morning as usual, kind of orders picked, and there are 6 orders of one that I have a piece missing, so I haven't picked it yet, just in case the buyer doesn't want to go ahead without the piece. So what we got, chunky old quantity of someone building a Mills plate for sure. Got the Technic bricks, got the 4x4 plates, an awful lot of them, and some 2x4 bricks obviously for the risers. So someone building a nice base plate there. This is where I get into a bit of trouble, you see. This one is 2 hair pieces, the old Han Solo size, and that is the piece that I don't have for this order over here. So somehow I've got the wrong quantity, because this order came in first. It's going to have to take priority, and I'm waiting to see what the buyer says, what they want to do, given that that part's missing. I mean, it's only a 47 cents piece on the order, so who knows. This one, a whole bunch of reddish brown and a couple of tiny other little bits thrown in there as well. Fun and games with the domestic post Jenga on that one. This one is off to the UK, and it is a festival of white pieces. Cleared me out of quite a few pieces. This little inverted column slope type thing, which I'm not sure what its type is, but that one is very popular, that one. This one in this morning, mixture of used and some dark blue grey, light blue grey, and then a whole little cluster of other stuff. And then this is the order that I don't have the hairpiece for, so it's the Battle of Endor instructions, a Han Solo headpiece, minifigure head, yeah, is that what you call it? Head. And the hairpiece, which is over there, already in somebody else's order. So I've messaged them, and I'll wait for them to come back to me to let me know what they want to do. Yeah, not much else to report since yesterday. I did some used, I did the canopies and stuff like that, so they are now up there in that box. All of those cockpit windscreens and stuff like that. And then this shelf is getting a little bit more busy with 1x3s. I think I showed this yesterday, and normal slopes taking over there. And then we've got 2 more bins, 2-litre bins over here. So those inverted sloped curves, if that's what they are, and some more slopes. Are they slopes or wedges? Not sure what the real difference is. I often go into the wrong one. Anyway, 2 more of those bins filled up, and the little collection of used stuff is depleting. Obviously that Technic stuff is going to be a pain in the arse going through that. I've still got some of the windscreens to do. These are more like your bog standard car ones. I've got a bunch of wheels that I need to do here, some dishes, some panels, some of those rubber bands. They're all often hard to find. So I'm just kind of working my way through this little cluster of stuff as and when I get a spare moment, until we get a bit more order over there. So that's it for now. Get these orders packed up and ready to go, and crack on with, actually got a whole heap of real work I need to do for the rest of the week. And when I say real work, I'm sure everyone knows what I mean, kind of freelance work that I need to get stuck into. So it's going to be a bit kind of crazy, I think, for the next few days, but there we go. That's the way it is. 2 more orders snuck in the afternoon. This one, a whole load of 4x4 curved plates and inverted slopes and some Technic bits and pieces. I've not sold many Technic bits and pieces. This is definitely the largest batch of Technics that I've sold, and it's going in domestic letter, so a bit of Jenga required. And then over here is that Battle of Endor instructions and the minifigure head. They got back to me and said they were happy to proceed and just get a refund. So the 2 booklets and the minifigure head to be added to the pile, and then I'm going to head to the post office. I think there's a parcel for me to collect as well. Not sure what that will be, but we shall see when I get back. It is almost 5 o'clock on Wednesday. I've been to the post office and picked up my parcel, which is this, which this is the second time I've ordered from Brickowl, and I forgot to video it the first time because it is the most exquisite packaging that you're ever going to get, right? They put it in a decent box. They've tissue wrapped it with 2 different types of tissue, and you've got one of these kind of vintage castle stickers. I mean, it's something else, isn't it? Look at that. That's 2 bits of tissue paper sellotaped together. I mean, it's just brilliant. I love it. Love it. Might even be able to rescue that sticker if I try hard enough, which would be pretty cool. Anyway, this is my order. More general parts for the store. It's about 700 parts for like a value of maybe like 160 or something like that. So as you can see, kind of as I've said before, the price per piece count when you order like this can be really good. Obviously there's not a lot of small parts in here. There's a lot of plates, there's some of those, I'm not sure what you call them. Anyway, I'm going to get into that, get that sorted, but I just wanted to show you the packaging because it is something else. Thanks very much, Brickcastle. Good morning, Thursday. A above average day already. 8 orders in overnight. Maybe one of them or 2 of them came in kind of late last night, and then others overnight, and one big one this morning. So we'll just have a quick look at what we've got. Bricklink order of some minifigure accessories, kind of a bunch of those older swords, and just got these in stock, and that's 2 going out already, which is great. This one's a great order. It's a whole load of windshields, canopy off of is that the Ghost or the gunship? Maybe the Ghost, because there's a little clear one, I think that's what that is, and then a couple of just normal kind of windshield canopies. So that's a good little order. A couple of minifigures there. The one from Kenobi, isn't it? Yep. Obi-Wan Kenobi, or is it just Kenobi the series? Can't remember now. And a old school Gamorrean guard. Minifigure hiding in there, one of those kind of crazy Benny things. A bunch of used parts and some bits and pieces in that one, including a Harry Potter book cover and a selection of light blue grey. This minifigure one is off to the States, a Talia Durith, and just a couple of Imperial crew things, and an Imperial shuttle pilot. This one is a domestic letter, so it's not in bags because I'm going to have to play Jenga with that to get that in the box mailer thing. Bricklink order again, kind of just random bits and pieces. I realise I don't have an awful lot of these 1x6 dark blue-grey tiles in stock. They don't sell that often, surprisingly, for quite a significant colour, you know, in the Star Wars universe and whatnot. But I'm going to add them to my wanted list. As you can see, this week's wanted list is not too crazy. I was checking out these 2 other YouTubers. The Plastic Architect is an American girl who does a lot of modular kind of builds and stuff like that. And Cheesy Studios, I saw him in another video where he's got like shelves in the back with pots and a storage system, so I was checking that out. But he does an awful lot of Minecraft cities, which I suppose is fairly niche, I don't know, but they're definitely cool. Kind of yeah, the scale that he does it is impressive. So if you fancy checking out some other YouTubers, those 2 are pretty cool. And then this one this morning is a big order of 342 items in 18 lots. As you can see, a lot of dark blue grey, which is great because I've got a lot of that. These little not sure what you call them, but they're like 2 by something wedge plates. They're popular this week, and interestingly, 2 of the orders, the domestic letter one and the one with the Benny minifigure, have very similar parts in them. So whether there's a mock that's been uploaded recently or something, I don't know. But yeah, kind of. So that one's parcel, international, parcel. So you know, you kind of go through these runs where you've got domestic letter, and then you just have a little spurt of things like that, which is great. So yeah, where are we at? Kind of in terms of the week, I know kind of it's probably a bit early to be doing this, but it's not been bad, I don't think. And another order has come in as I'm talking to my phone. But crazy days. It's good. Thursdays are definitely looking like one of the busiest days. And I'll show you a little bit later on. Kind of since the Bricklink hack, Brickowl has been very consistent. Whether users have gone over to that and decided to stay over there, I don't know. In terms of where we're at, kind of dark blue, oh no, light blue grey. How is that? Light blue grey looks like dark blue grey, doesn't it? But it's light blue grey is the winner this week. Dark blue grey coming second. Black all the way down here. Surely that's going to have a run. And that little chart looks quite good, doesn't it? Yeah, happy with that. Approaching our 200,000 mark. In fact, we're past the 200,000 mark. We are sitting at 208,000 parts, which, excuse me, is incredible. Kind of, I've got hopes of beating the 210 by the end of the week, but depends if I get any time to do part outs. Today is not going to be that day because I'm actually off to the pub at lunchtime to meet an old mate. So that's where we're at. I'm just going to go and check out this new order. Bear with me. This is the order that's just come in. Pretty straightforward, so I'll not bother showing you when it's packed and stuff like that. But yeah, another one to add, so that's 9 for the day, so that brings up the average after a slow start to the week, which is good. So I'll crack on. Friday morning, and 7 orders in overnight. Did a bit of a inventory addition last night, which has skyrocketed us to 216, almost 217. And I've still got some bits and pieces to put away, such as that order over there, which is in one like people have got like heat sealers, which are amazing, but it's a pain in the ringer to open them all up, individual bags, because you've got to cut them all. Or is that one sellotaped together? Well, these are all sellotaped together, they're not heat sealed. Anyway, that's that. Obviously, lots of parts added overnight. Some kind of interesting bits as well, which is cool. And then the other thing that arrived is my 1,000 yellow tiles to do my kind of custom printed tile. So I'll get back in touch with the Big Brick today and get things moving in terms of preparing the logo to go on these tiles, and then have a think about what the sales threshold is. Probably just have a little look back over the sales for the last month and see what the average is, the average sale. I could do that on Brick Freedom actually. See what the average sale is, and then anyone that's buying over the average would be getting a custom store tile in the fullness of time. I'm not sure how long it'll take to get printed, but I'll get in touch with them today and keep that moving next week. So the 7 orders, a bit of a minifigure burst, as seems to happen every now and then. First one is a whole load of Resistance pilots, a Poe Dameron, a couple of BB-8s and a Yoda. And then the one above that is pretty much the crew from the new Ghost. So we got Hera Syndulla, Jason Syndulla, and the little Admiral Akbar looking fella, Beta, is that his name? Admiral Beta or something like that. Someone going for a whole lot of minifigure stands and a clone 501st is that, and just kind of some odds and sods. First order, what is he? First order heavy assault stormtrooper in that one, and then a couple from Brickowl as well. Just a batch of blue parts and a Kanan Jarrus hairpiece. I know it's not exclusive to him, but that's probably what he's best known for. And then the final one with a bit of a used and new mixture, mainly white, and some bits from the used drawers. So 7 orders, all the labels are already packed up and everything like that. As you can see, it's looking relatively tidy over here. I still haven't done anything about that lot, but that's coming along. And then up on the shelves, kind of a bit more addition going into it, but yeah, it's looking pretty good up there now. I think I'm not sure the weight will allow another box to stack on there. That would be awesome, but I'm just not sure the weight would cope with that. So I'm probably just going to keep those too high, but I can use the shelf at the top for stuff that very rarely gets accessed. There's a couple down on the shelves behind me that you probably go in there once every blue moon. So those ones can shift over, and that'll be a good little thing to get done there. And I also, kind of in preparation for doing some custom printing, was having a look at these. I think they're classed as the Mexico factory things, but these yellow ones would be pretty cool to have some custom printing on. Kind of little store troopers, if you know what I mean. And the Vader was literally just me being a bit indulgent and kind of fascinated to see it. They also sent me a couple of other bits for free. So one is like a plain TIE Fighter pilot helmet and a translucent Batman cowl, which is generous of them, so thank you very much. They weren't exactly cheap, and they're definitely not going to be a giveaway type thing, but the yellow ones were kind of on brand, so I figured it was why not. So yeah, today probably going to be finishing off doing the additions. I've just finished doing some reallocation of drawers and things like that. Things are getting pretty busy, but as you can expect, kind of now we're tapping on the 220,000 parts, things are going to get a little bit busy in the drawers and things like that. Given we've got probably 2-3 trays clear and at least half of both of those drawers over there, then kind of I think yet again my estimation of 250,000 probably being the max of our capacity is probably a little bit out, but we shall see where we get to. Kind of definitely not looking to buy any more parts this month. Kind of gone a little bit too crazy on that. Need to build up the finance again for the beginning of next month, and obviously it's Insiders weekend coming up, and the gift with purchase is this kind of castle set. Where is it? That thing, Magisto's Magical Workshop gift. And there's also this winter stall. If you spend over 400 you get that, and if you spend over 280 you get that. And they've got a few deals as well. I think they're giving away a discount on the blacksmith's store as well, which is a bit of a pain in the ass given that I purchased that. Mind you, I used a voucher, so it's not too bad. But yeah, so that's on kind of Saturday and Sunday, is that? Yeah, Saturday and Sunday, Insiders weekend. I think there's a lot of extra VIP points. There's discounts on these sets. Not that I'm particularly interested in those. I've got Assembly Square in my own personal collection. But $90 off a module is pretty good. And then, I don't know what the hell that is. I think you can only use one voucher per purchase as well. So I don't think you could get like this is a kind of use your VIP points voucher type thing. I don't think you can do that and use other things. But the two times reward points. It's pretty good. And I think this is something you can get as well. I was thinking of getting that. If I'm doing a purchase, I might get the buildable cassette player because it's kind of cute. It's very retro. And they've got these are quite nice as well. These vintage blueprints and the ornament. I guess people will be well into that, won't they? 1,800 points for the ornament, but only. Oh, these are digital. Rubbish, eh? Why don't we print them out? Anyway, I quite like the little tape recorder thing. I think it's cool. It would go with that I Am Groot statue if people were into that, wouldn't it? For the music in that film. But anyway, I digress. Right, onwards, get these things packed up and get them to the post office. Friday afternoon, and the delivery man has been with a set that I got off of eBay, but I bought from these guys a few times. I think it's called Set the Bricks Free. They do a lot of boxed seal sets, and given that there's new what are they called, MIDI scale coming next year, I wanted to make sure I had all of the current MIDI scale. But check out this packaging, look at that, layer after layer of bubble wrap. Look at that. Whoa, it's like 2 inches of bubble wrap. Awesome. And there it is, the 8099 MIDI scale Imperial Star Destroyer, sealed. Slight crease in the top corner there, but that's probably reflected in the price, to be honest. It's a bit of a shame, but oh, tangled. There she is, the MIDI scale one, pretty cute. And given that there's kind of, there was the Star Destroyer and there's going to be other MIDI scales coming next year, I wanted to just pick that up before it gets too crazy. Obviously got the old classic Clone Trooper decal, but yeah, what a beautiful set, eh? Kind of love that kind of thing, and it's going to turn into a nice collection of MIDI scales, I think, by the end of it. Yeah, so there you go. I thought I'd just show you that. The other thing that I wanted to come back to, because kind of just been leaving it out here, is seeing how the white parts getting whitened are doing. To be honest, it's not been hugely successful on a large extent. Still very, very yellow in a lot of places. That's obviously very yellow because it's a tan part, but they're out here for the day. Yeah, these like car tops, terrible. That's terrible. Some of it's alright, but some of it is absolutely just like terrible. So not as successful as the horses, but it was worth a shot just to see what happened, and let it just finish drying for the rest of the day in the sun, and then I'll take it in the daylight and go through it and sort it all. It's Friday afternoon. The last job of the week is sorting out all of these used parts that were in the bags that were within the tub, if you remember back that far. Anyway, there's a right assortment of bits in here, kind of not really any quantity of any, but some that are fairly harder to find. For instance, those little things in black, I don't have a lot of those, so there's a little handful of them in here. Not many, but some. There's some printed parts over here. There's a nice console there. There's a little weapon. I've got a whole bag of weapons on the side here that I need to sort out. But yeah, there's a container like that. Those usually go quite well. It's got little white drawers for that. But otherwise, it's just your bog standard parts, and I've started sorting, ready to do brick and eyes and get them into the store. So I'm probably going to do maybe a little how-to video on that as well, just to have something else kind of getting out next week. There is a minifigure in amongst all of that. There's kind of Han Solo in I think that's his right head. That's his right head. There is Han Solo, so it must be a Hoth set that was originally in there. Looks like, well, clearly the snow troopers have been removed. Anyway, wrapping up the week, let's see where we're at. We are at 218,829. Got this little bit of new stuff to add in as well, which should kind of tip us over 219, which is pretty incredible. We're up to 9,229 in terms of lot count. It's pretty spectacular as well, kind of up and up all the time. In terms of how the week has kind of fared so far, it's been a typically slow day. feels like there's been good steady orders, 5 per day. A little bit down on last month's, but we're heading into the weekend, so anything can happen, or it might not, who knows. Bricklink back asserting itself massively, although I think I said it the other day, kind of Brickowl has been much more consistent since the hack for me anyway, kind of at least 1 a day, which is good. In terms of the breakdown, used hasn't been that big this week, whereas kind of minifigures have gone well. Probably the latter half of the week is behind that. And then in terms of the colour breakdown, where we at, light blue grey 531, dark blue 385, so a long way behind the usual suspects at the top. What can you say to that anyway? Kind of, yeah. So that's the week. In terms of YouTube, again, steady as she goes. 528, creeping up. That last week's vlog has done one of the best, I think. I've not actually looked at the back end and the stats, but it's definitely up there with some of the best that we've had. So that's a good sign for moving forward. We've kind of generated quite a lot of new members this week as well. Again, it's all positive. So that's us heading into the weekend. It's Insiders weekend. I've still got a little bit of admin to do there. I've still got this new stuff to add in, and I still haven't emailed the big brick about that, so I'll maybe try and do that before I wrap it up for the weekend. Not that you wrap it up for the weekend, because I'll probably be doing some picking, but yeah, as ever, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I shall see you next week.